How serialized will season 2 be?
100%.
Is it 100%?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is. In every episode, the main saga story will be being pushed forward in every episode. We'll still be doing within, like, there's part of the shape that we take is like there's a little bit of like a big bad shape, kind of like what Buffy used to do, you know. But even in that, we're doing like a 2 to 3 episode arcs. Now and then, like a villain, like a Mr. Freeze will come in. But even in that, the big bad will have a hand in it, and we'll see everything.
A personal thing that I would love to see on the show. I don't know if you guys are thinking about doing it, but the Gray Ghost. Is that something you guys have thought about doing?
No, we actually have never mentioned that. Okay.
Right here.
I'll put it right there. I locked it away. Yeah, you know, when the Rogues Gallery is, or they're not Rogues Gallery, but just like the pantheon of those the characters are so huge. It's like, you do feel like you have a lot to go to. I'll put it in there.
Question is, did you feel there was a tonal issue at all in season 1 in the sense? Yeah. Okay. It just felt like things were being like very grounded.
Yeah.
And very over the top.
Yeah.
They were making it crazy.
No, I agree. I do think a lot of first year shows, you spend a lot of time finding the show. You know, and I think we did a lot of that in season 1. Like, is it procedural? Is it more police work? Is it are we going to like push the boundaries of like the supervillain world and have people take drugs and become really strong? Okay, that's terrible. We're not going to do that anymore. Are we going to have like a serial killer? No, that doesn't feel right. So like we kind of shifted all around until we started finding what we felt like was much more like a tone that we were happy with. But that's just like it's a process, and hopefully when you do these shows, like you're on the air long enough to find what that tone is. And I do feel like in season 2 we really locked it in.
What is that tone? How would you describe
that's why I thought it's really hard to like. Yeah, it was hard to kind of like articulate what exactly that is. It's like that judge, whoever it was, used to talk say about pornography. He goes, I can't describe it, but I know it when I see it. It's a little bit like when you hit the right tone, you're like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
But do you think the highs brought down a little bit? Like, you know what I mean, those sort of over the top elements?
Yes. I also feel like the over top element of last year, we just didn't execute it quite as well. You know, because there is definitely an evolutionary shift that's happening this year, where like season 1 was like a kind of a Falcone like mob version of Gotham. Season 2, we started taking this like an evolutionary step towards the creation of supervillains. So then season 3 that'll change. So it's like we do want to move towards that world, you know, but it is like, you know, boiling a frog. You want to do it slowly, and when you get there, because then by the time you arrive at those characters, if you ever want to do like a Killer Croc or whatever, you want to do a realistic version of it, but you want to do something have created a world where that character can live. You know, so I think that'll be exciting.
Have we seen the last of Fish Mooney, and can you tease any of the other villains that we will be seeing this season?
You might have seen the last of Fish Mooney, you might not. Who knows? So I'll leave a big question mark on that one. This year we'll also be seeing Victor Freeze make an appearance. We'll see the origins of Firefly. I think that story will be. It's a different origin story for Firefly. We'll see the Flamingo. Is one of my favorites.
Joker.
What's that?
The Joker.
We will see the beginnings of the Joker. A Joker story. I'll put it that way.
Not Cameron Monaghan.
You gotta watch the first 3 episodes and see what happens. Yeah, we have a very specific take on how we want that story to play out, and it does play out on the first 3 episodes of the show.
What kind of actor are you searching for Mr. Freeze? What does he have to bring to the table?
No, it's he just has to do a really good Arnold impersonation. You know, honestly, I'm not sure. It's like that's going to happen. I think he'll make an appearance like later on in the season, so we have some time to think about it. But you want it to be someone who's above anything to me like empathetic, because he does have an emotional story at heart. I mean, that is the core of his origin story, and so you want something that you feel for first and foremost. So I don't know.
Bruce is moving towards.
Oh, thank you so much.
The way Bruno's making it sound,
yeah,
he's moving much more towards not becoming Batman, but I mean, in that psychologically.
Psychologically, he is. I mean, like the theme of so much Batman, and we really kind of adopted it kind of hardcore from season 2, is the idea of like the duality of personality. Like you can do one thing or you can do another thing, you know. And you watch all these characters make that shift from like one like bad version, not bad version, but obvious version, Barbara is good, then she becomes evil. Like it was good, then becomes a Riddler, and it will tic-tac back and forth. So one thing Bruce is going to do this year is season 1, Bruce was so forthright and he was always so honest. He was that person. You're going to start to see him like make that fissure in his personality. Okay, it's like if I'm going to succeed in what I'm doing, I have to learn to like put a different face out in public and become a different person. And the creation of the Bruce Wayne persona, while like the person we've seen in season 1, that would be the person that becomes Batman. That makes sense.
What are we going to see for Jim Gordon this season?
Well, it kind of goes along the same line too. Like Jim Gordon's going to that same line of like kind of good and evil and how dark can you go, and some people will go into the darkness and not come back. Some people will come back. Jim Gordon will step over that line again in his quest to try to save Gotham and like restore it. He's going to like try to acquire power because he thinks that the city is so corrupt. Only if I am like the most powerful person in Gotham, essentially, can I save the city that I love. And it's a classic noir trope of the more you look into the darkness looks into you, and he sees it start changing him, and then he has to kind of try to pull himself out. He's going to be put through the ringer.
Can you talk about the challenge of doing 22 episodes and how many will season 2 have?
And how many? Sorry, what?
How many episodes will season 2 have?
Season 2 has 22.
Okay.
It's a huge challenge. It's hard to conceptualize like a full 22 episode season as one coherent story. That's always pushing the story forward. That's why we a lot of times breaking them into chunks. And this year, it's worked out really well because we're airing 2 11-episode consecutive chunks, so we can really chart out the whole season as 2 arcs, that will climax at Christmas at 11 and then climax again in the spring. Yeah, which I think the scheduling will work in our favor this year. And it's also like just physical training, like when you're doing that many episodes, because you feel like there's this